I'm Sarah Pope. I'm the CEO of SOS Care and Oak Tree Farm, and we provide supports for children and adults with autism and intellectual disabilities across the lifespan. So anything from early intervention to what do I do now? I'm 65. So my experience has just been working with children. Most of my career has been in the field of disabilities. And then at one point in my life, I thought it would be great to help the community by becoming a foster mom. And I always wanted to have a bigger family. And so over a period of about 8 years, I had 10 different foster kids live with me. And all of them were a completely different experience that came with challenges and joy and filled up my heart. And hopefully I filled up their heart with some good things too. And that led me to actually adopting one of the children that was was a foster care kid. He was 5.5 at the time. And I was working for the school district, and I saw this little boy every week when I went to visit his classroom. And families were calling me about him and saying that he was in foster care with his grandpa and his mother wasn't doing well and he was going to need a permanent placement. And at the time I was like, I have 10 kids. I don't think I want another kid. And then one day I got a phone call and his mother had passed away and it became more urgent. And I just knew that I was the right parent to take him home. And I was like, I know I can help him become more independent. He wasn't independent at all and had a lot of issues. And so I knew I could help him become more independent. And that was my goal. That was our mantra between us. I was like, there's a lot of emotional baggage that's in this picture that we may not be, have the most loving relationship of all, and that's okay, but I can help him be independent. And so that was what we did. And he and I worked really hard together to make it work. And now he's living independently with some roommates, 24 years old this week. So my experience just with, children and adults with autism spectrum disorders, consistency is the key for many things. And having a schedule that's the same. People can become interchangeable in their lives, but the schedule and the routine of life and not having unexpected things happen that are out of their control every day really change sort of the momentum of their life, because sudden changes, unexpected things, routines not happening for someone with autism spectrum disorder, that's just really, really difficult. And that's why you see a lot of behavioral issues happen with kids like that, because they don't like change most of the time. They don't like inconsistency most of the time. So having a routine and a structure to their day every day where they know what's going to happen, because they're children with high anxiety disorders. Most people with autism have anxiety issues. Anxiety comes from unknown things a lot of times. So if you're moving around every day and not knowing where you're going to be, or in a new bed, or in a new home, or with people that don't understand how you communicate or do life, would be a nightmare for someone with autism. That'd be a worst case scenario ever. I didn't know with, even with Liam, it was hard to know what damage was belonging to what at first, because this was a kid that was taken from the hospital into foster care for, being born addicted to narcotics and then taken away right away. And then, so you have that immediate, emotional deregulation that's going to happen. The bonding doesn't happen. So you have all of those things that are happening. and then in and out of foster care, 24 times, in this period of time, and exposed to things that no one should ever see, right? But children see them, and it's ingrained somewhere in their wet cement. And, then a diagnosis of autism. Okay, so then you're just like, well, which one is coming first? Is it the emotional deregulation? I didn't bond, I've got autism now. Like, which ones are happening first? Environmentally, I didn't learn to talk, I'm not potty trained. Is that environmental or is that developmental? Like, one, is it because I was in this situation and I wasn't taught, trained to do any of these things, or is it because I cannot? And so I think when you have a kid like that, you sort of throw everything in it, right? You're like throwing the kitchen sink in it. Let's do this therapy, let's get into this, let's do this. And then as you start to peel the layers away, you can see what came from what sort of stage of this development. And then some of it goes away because it was environmental. And now you don't have the environmental factors that were like big parts playing in. Then you start to see what developmentally you now have to catch up on. And then one is a true disability in there. Like, what's really the part of the disability, if there is one, or was it just emotional and environmental sort of things that were happening? So when you see that, then you know how to start dealing with them differently. Because at first you don't know, am I dealing with it in this way because it's this, or am I dealing with it in this way because it's part of autism? But once you start figuring that out and you peel that stuff away, you can see clearly what belongs to, and then I know how to treat that. It's amazing to me how adaptable that they become in a situation where it's the same thing every day. And so for a parent to be organized and just have a routine for everyone, and the same bedtime and the same meal time and the same, for someone to get in that routine with them. So what you're talking about with the feeling safe, and it's like, oh, I know I'm going to get a meal. I know I'm going to get to take a shower. I know I'm going to have clean clothes. I already know these things. So all of that they've been worried about for however long, that's gone. So when you take that off the table and you start to peel away the layers of what's happened to this person, it starts to get a lot easier because you've taken away, you've eliminated so many things that were causing instability, anxiety, behavioral issues. Gone. Some parents think I'm so busy with my other children because they have to go to baseball and ballet and whatever they're going to, that if I had to have another kid in my family, then how would I have time to go do all of those things with my other kid? And the answer for that for kids with autism is you probably don't need to be doing that with the kid with autism. They don't need to go do all that. They're having a lot of experiences already all day, having to follow routines at school and all of the things. They may want to just come home and have a safe place that's comfortable and quiet. I mean, having a sense of family with other children that you're just having meals with. Like, the things that are so big to foster kids are completely different than the things we imagine for typical children sometimes. We're always trying to make it bigger and grander and more for sort of typical kids. And I think when you've had a foster kid that ate out of a can, that never went anywhere, and was abused in their home, they're happy to just come and have a place where there's some music playing and a TV show and we're all sitting together having popcorn. It's simple. It's not big things. It's safe. I'm a fixer. I love fixing everything. Yeah. But we know that, sometimes the damage is big. I mean, it's big and it's done. And you can't fix that because it's already done and happened. But you can find all of the things that help to make that easier to live with. Because we can all overcome anything with the right supports. I mean, that's the part I think that people have to understand. We all have things that happen in our life that molded us to be who we are. And some of them were good, and there were things that were not. And they're not intentional things that families do sometimes. But we have to learn how to deal and get around that, because it shows up in our relationships and our work and in life. And so I think you think of them as the same people. We're not going to fix it. We're going to help you manage it in the best way you can manage it, so you can be a functional human being in the world and a successful adult, as whatever that means for you. And it looks different for every person. You don't know where they're going to end up or what's going to happen. And some of them you want to keep, get really attached, you want to keep them. I had one I really wanted to keep, but she ended up having to go back to a situation that I thought was a terrible situation. And you have no control over that part, but while they're with you, having a family experience, and hopefully you go, did I make a little change in their mind about what family could look like at some point for them? And that's sort of, for a foster parent, important. And once you're in it, you can't just leave. It's hard to walk away from something that you feel so strongly about and that you see as such a problem. It's hard just to go, oh, well, I'll go do something else now. Here's my new job. No, because these people are in your head and your heart.